the best area of the market to invest in right now?
Yeah, I think I get asked this quite often actually, and it's really difficult to say best, right? I mean, there's so many areas, and there's a lot of areas that I really like. It's why we do diversified portfolios because we're never sure which one's going to be exactly the best. But the one area, and I'll share my screen here and try to describe this. The one area that I really like right now is transportation, and this is a chart. Let me explain the chart just really quickly. This is a ETF called XTN is the ticker symbol. This is the last year. And this is the Spider Series Transportation ETF. And so this is, airlines, railroads, trucking companies, logistic companies, etc. And in this chart, you can see this channel here. This is called a multi-regression channel. So I want to see that going up, right? So that's important. That's why I use the channel. I mean, I'll show you an example here. Here is Vanguard's long-term treasuries, right? Look at that channel. It's going straight down. Some investors are trying to bottom fish, and they use it just the opposite. I tend to be more of a momentum player, so I like to see that channel going up. So if I go back to here, so this is important to me that the 50-day moving average, which is this orange line here, is up. The 200-day moving average is up, and then down here, this is what's called relative strength. So this blue line represents this particular ETF, XTN. This red line down here represents the S&P 500. And so when this blue line is above, that means that it has relative strength versus the S&P 500. So one of the things I like about transportation, we just bought this about 10 days ago in our traditional model portfolio. And one of the things I like about transportation is I think there's a dual possible win here. Transportation is about moving people and goods, right? So I think both are going to increase here as there's a reopen. People are going to move around more, whether it's in a car, rental car, whether it's in, a plane, and then goods are going to move around more because the economy picks up. And so I think it's kind of a double win as far as that goes. So I like XTN here, but there's other ways of doing it. There's another one here called Away. Now this focuses on kind of the technology side of travel. So TripAdvisor and bookings and Expedia and Airbnb. It also includes Uber and Lyft, for example. So again, theoretically, all of these might do better and people might use these types of things more than they were during the pandemic. And so we might see some increase in price. You could go a little bit more narrow and just buy the airlines and all the airplane manufacturers. This is called JETS. And that's, this is a global jet ETF. All of these are up and they're moving along. And so I really think that's kind of interesting. And then the last one that you might want to consider, and this is a little bit different, this is called HAIL. And this is a Spider series. It's called Kensho Smart Mobility. And so HAIL is electronic vehicles. It is autonomous driving, drone delivery systems, and so these are maybe how people will be moving or goods might be moving in the future. So the double piece that you could get out of this is not just the reopening, but a lot of these could be also impacted positively by the infrastructure bill, which they're talking about trying to pass in October. And I'm not a big believer in trying to invest prior to a bill passing because it might not happen. But I really like things where you could go into either, it could go either way. So in other words, this could benefit from the reopening or it could benefit from the infrastructure plan. So anyway, I think transportation is definitely a really interesting area to look at right now with